Are you ready to draw and ink an illustration every day for a whole month straight? Are you? Maybe you're excited to start a challenge like this, and that's good. But do you have a plan? I remember hearing of Inktober about 4 years ago. Each year I would attempt Inktober, but I never got past 10 days. Last year I actually took it serious and basically finished the challenge. I say basically because I was 3 days behind, but I still finished the required amount of drawings, even if October did come to a close. So I'll be going over the mistakes I made and what went wrong, so that you can hopefully have a successful Inktober. Okay, now I need you to do something for me. Go and grab some sheets of paper, and you're gonna grab a pen, and we're gonna start a plan. Now, this is gonna be a little bit intense, but I need you to stay with me. So we're gonna be going into 3 categories. It's gonna be the goals, the strategy, and the action for creating a good, solid plan. So on this sheet of paper, you're gonna write goals. We're gonna start with our specific goal, or as I wrote, the ultimate goal, which is, well, at least for me, it was Inktober, but maybe you're trying to do something else. And that's fine. This can work for maybe Smogist, or, I don't know, drawing, painting every day for a whole month, whatever you want. So we're gonna try to complete this challenge that we have set. So we're gonna go into the specifics, and it's fine if these specifics you're writing out are very straightforward. So I just wrote that I need to finish this within 31 days. Like, these are the rules. Write out your rules. Write out some questions, some important questions. One thing I didn't think about going into this challenge, which I probably should have before, was, do I want to knock all these out within 31 days, but maybe not have the best quality drawings, or do I want to make really good quality drawings, which I'll be really happy with, and pleased and proud with what I made, but you know, it might stretch out of the Inktober date. It's good to ask yourself some questions of what you're requiring of yourself, because at one point I did get really stressed and felt like I had to work really late at night, but I was just being kind of silly. So now, if you've done some writing courses, you might be familiar with the where, when, how, who, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna jump to the question, when? Write that down. When are you gonna be doing these drawings? Because sometimes we think we have more time than we actually do. So are you like an earlier riser? Can you stay up late? Are these so important that you can put off, you know, school or college, or I don't know what you're doing right now, but for me, I need to wake up very early because my brain functions well in the morning. It just crashes at night. It's like super foggy and I feel like I'm going insane. So I decided that I was gonna wake up at 5 a.m. to work on these drawings. However, there's a word called a trade-off, and that basically means you're gonna have to sacrifice something to meet a specific goal. So, for example, during this era of my time, I was waking up at 5 a.m. to read Lord of the Rings before school started. And so I was willing to give up reading that book to work on my drawings. I don't think I worked out either. I had to cut that out. I don't think that was necessarily good. But maybe for you, it might be, if you want to stay up late, you might have to sacrifice movie time, or, you know, whatever you do. Okay, so how are we going to go about doing this whole Inktober thing? I really appreciate about the whole little Inktober business thing. On Instagram, they'll release the whole prompt list for the month a month before. So you can plan all your illustrations. That was what I was deciding to do. I had to design my scenes for each illustration, design the characters, And I was doing that all in September so that I would have them all prepared for October. I take a long time to draw, so I knew I needed a whole month before, so it kind of just depends on each individual. I also have a Pinterest, so I definitely took use of that and made a whole Pinterest board. I'll leave a link to that below. Now, an important question. What are you going to be drawing every day for Inktober? This was an easy question for me. I chose the book series, The Wing Feather Saga. Me and my family just finished reading this last year, so I kind of wanted to celebrate it, and I wasn't quite sure if I would do this. It depended on the prompts, so I was so glad Inktober released the prompts early so that I could see if the prompts would fit, and they indeed did. So just choose subjects that you like to draw. It could be characters, objects, so whatever just comes to mind, I would just do it. Also, what art style are you going to use? I feel like everyone has many art styles. So just play around with what kind of, like if you want to go more cartoony or realistic, there's so many variations you can do. Maybe what style you want to do with the inking. I also had to play around too the style of my finished illustrations, if I wanted to put a little frame around them, if I wanted to use a graphite pencil or a blue pencil. I chose the blue just to add a little bit of color. Moving on to the strategy. So get another piece of paper out and write that slap dab in the middle. So you're probably gonna rewrite a lot of repeats from the goals, but that's okay. We just want to go a little bit deeper, and it's good to compare different options, pros and cons. So my pros and cons was I could either wake up early or stay up late, but you know, that was kind of already out of the question, so I already knew what I wanted. Also, a good idea, look at your schedule or your parents' schedule, or you know, if you're in school or something, and make sure you're not going anywhere, because in October I think my family went on vacation, so I knew I did have to catch up, get ahead if possible, because I wouldn't be drawing for a couple of days and then I would get behind. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to our stay sane strategy. There's probably gonna be a couple of times in this challenge where you're not gonna want to be drawing. Some things I did to kind of encourage myself to keep going is kind of your health. So make sure, whatever you're drinking and eating, hopefully you're doing that. And exercise is a good stress reliever. Making your favorite little beverage or little snack during your drawing, like I would make coffees. Sometimes it's nice to listen to music. I started like watching YouTube as I was doing it, but I found myself losing focus because I was also trying to watch the video too at the same time. A big thing I recommend is like an audiobook. That was really helpful. So just do an audiobook that you find really fun and interesting, and that'll also help you record the time that you're drawing. That was quite interesting to see. It was many hours I spent on Inktober. So many books I listened to. Okay, now our final little subject, the action. This is super simple. You're just gonna do your goals and your strategy. Just do it. Review your progress. See if there's any changes you want to make. Sometimes there might be certain goals that might not be as important. So you might want to revise it. Your strategy shouldn't be set in stone. Things are going to change. Sometimes things will pop up in your schedule and you just need to rework things. So just be open-minded. You might also want to get an Instagram account if you don't. That was really helpful and fun, just being with other artists doing this challenge as well, and just supporting and encouraging each other. I just looked at Instagram on this 2024 prompt list, Many people are unhappy with it. This is so funny. Usually Inktober doesn't do a whole theme like this. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. Maybe you could start Inktober with friends. I have an art chat that I have with my good friends, and we'll do sometimes Inktober together. So yeah, it's just a great way to be accountable. Just remember that we don't have perfect control over our days, but we should give thanks for every day and what we've accomplished, and just not put our complete trust on ourselves, because a lot of times we aren't able to accomplish as much as we want. You can also follow me on Instagram so that you can see every single one of my Inktober drawings. I also put in usually a quote for every drawing I've done from the Wing Feather books, so maybe that'll pique your interest into the series. Also, just a little shout out and a big thank you to Sarah Hibbard Hayes. She wrote this financial course that I'm actually taking right now, and it went through all these goals and strategies and actions, so really good timing. But yeah, I did take a lot of ideas from her. Sorry that this is late. I wanted to get this out in the beginning of September, but hopefully it's not too late. Watch it again next year. Let me know if you got any good information and if this makes sense. Let me know if you finished Inktober and you used some of this to help you, or just if you've had a positive outcome with Inktober, or you aren't a fan of it, or if you struggle to do a challenge like this, or if it's just super easy for you. Good job to you if it is. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll hopefully come again later. Goodbye.